Yeah, I want to welcome everybody to the South Kongress podcast, fan by fan show for CW's The Flash. I'm Cameron. I'm joined by Travis. Travis, how are you?
You're doing good.
All right, so if you are watching this on YouTube, it may be your first time. The South Kongress podcast is a lifestyle show that covers entertainment, sports, pop culture, namely music, movies, and TV. In particular, right now, Travis and I, through the South Kongress Fan by Fan show, are covering CW's The Flash. We did a recap of season 1 in a single episode. Since then, we've reviewed every episode once a week, all through season 2 until right now here in season 4. In the meantime, we did the first episode of Preacher. First season of Preacher. We've done a few album reviews. Travis and Rich Fan did the entire run of Emerald City. So yeah, we definitely covered different things related to comics and literature as we've been going along. We are together tonight for season 4, episode 6 of The Flash, When Harry Met Harry. Kind of a quick recap. We have DeVoe being our villain of the season. He's making chess moves.
Big baddie.
Yeah, making chess moves behind the scenes. The biggest difference, he's not a speedster this time around. So the way they're going to deal with him is going to have to be different. Every week, we've kind of had the villain of the week who has actually been either a creation of DeVoe or somebody DeVoe put into place on this bus that was struck with dark matter in the spot where he strategically had Barry come out of the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So,
which wasn't where they calculated he'd come out. They said they calculated he'd come out across town.
Mm-hmm.
They just thought it was just a miscalculation, and then come to find out it was deliberate, and Defoe wanted him to come out at that spot at that time. Mainly, mainly at least right now it seems because there was a bus full of people. They got bathed in dark matter energy coming out of that. The hole opened up, the breach opened up for Barry to come out the Speed Force, and all 12 of the people on that bus got turned into metas, and 3 or 4 of them have been located, captured, fought with, or turned good, and is now part of the Flash team when it comes as far as Deputy goes.
One of the coolest things I've seen on our iTunes reviews, people do appreciate the format that we do these shows.
Okay.
And if you're watching this on stream, you're kind of going to see how the sausage is made. We actually go through the show scene for scene, of course watch it on mute, and talk about what's happening basically blow for blow, line for line through each episode. So you guys get to see us make all kinds of facial expressions and have reactions that you're not going to get as a part of the audio show. So on the flip side, if you actually do, if you're one of the loyal fans that's been rocking with us for 3 years as we do this, now you kind of get the added bonus of going back and watching us actually react to this stuff. I'm waiting for the first person. I mean, it'll be hard with the ads figured in. Waiting for the first person who syncs them up together. And so you kind of hear it, and then you see us reacting to it, which is a bit redundant.
Oh wait, you mean syncs up the show?
No, syncs, well,
or the audio?
Now you can do that. Well, I think you could have done that before.
Yeah.
But I mean, the audio, I guess it doesn't matter now.
Well, if you just watch the video, you get the audio.
Get the audio too, yeah, right?
I'm like, well, you have audio also?
I'm doing extra. I try to use all my devices at once. But no, yeah, so it'll be interesting. What you should do if you love us. If you're listening to this, just on whatever other device you have, just play the YouTube in the background on silent. Yeah. So we get a view off that. It'll be nice. But no, so what we'll do too, if you listen to, because it's weird, YouTube, somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if you can actually make your own web address for YouTube. I don't know if I can put YouTube/South Kongress.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, only because I haven't done the research. So maybe you can.
Wait, do it where? I don't understand.
On, if you can put that into your browser and it goes to my page. The page is
people go to youtube.com/TravLord. They're taken to my YouTube page.
Oh,
with all my videos.
What I'm saying is I don't know what my address is. So, we'll have to do some stuff. But the thing is, if you listen to it just audio, we will have the link now to every episode that we do on YouTube. It'll be in the show notes. So, if you want to watch it that way, you can see that. If not, again, we'll have the link to the page so you get to subscribe. All right, but enough jibber jabber. Let's get to this week's episode.
Yeah.
So let's see. What do you think about Ralph Dibny so far?
So far, I really like Ralph. I think he brings an energy to the show that the Julian didn't. I'm trying to think of who are the other like sidekicky type guys in season 1 and 2. It's just Ronnie. It's just a different because he's not pure good because his intentions are not always
not super noble.
Yeah,
sometimes they're self-serving.
He's such a selfish asshole. It really makes him being dropped in the middle of all these other like really honorable for the most part people. But it's light stuff, it's stealing money out of the tip jar,
To tip someone.
No, he made Barry tip and then took the tip for himself.
That's right.
So he's not, committing high crimes, but he clearly has
a bunch of petty ones.
His moral compass is a bit off at times, and but you also get to see, and in this episode, you get to see him come to grips and come to terms with, oh yeah, I am a scumbag. I never had to think about that civilian, or whatever after doing my investigative PI stuff. All that stuff happened. I was gone. The fallout from all the chaos and stuff. I was gone. I had my check. I was on to the next case. Now, as a hero or wannabe hero, Barry's trying to instill in him, we got to keep people safe first and foremost. And you see in this episode him deal with it.
Yeah, so we're in line here at Jitters, because that's where we hang out. And he's still calling him rookie. Are you able to see the subtitles from where you are?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. See, I'm not as tall as you, so it's a bit hard for me, but I had to adjust, so that's fine. Barry has a mean denim jacket in this episode, though. I keep saying for this season I'm going to get myself a denim jacket, but then it keeps being 80 degrees outside. So as they're walking, somebody pulls a gun on him. What's interesting here, you think he's a vet? Because he got the camouflage jacket.
With the no, he got that at the thrift store.
He got that at the surplus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so he's dealing with two metas that he has at gunpoint, right? So Barry and Ralph are like arguing over how they're going to stop him.
Yeah, Barry's like, okay, here's an opportunity. Let's take this mugger out.
He's like, I can do the gun slingshot, I can shoot the bullet back at him. And the mugger gets mad. He's like, I'm robbing you guys.
Yeah, because they turn their backs on him to formulate a plan. Mugger guy gets pissed.
He's super frustrated.
Yeah. First off, he's an idiot. He's broad daylight pointing a gun.
It's been way too long. But he does shoot. Like, okay. Shot him right in his back, and the bullet stretches through Ralph and goes back at him. I love that the bullet hole in the back of his suit jacket. And so it hits him in the leg first. He shoots him again.
Yeah.
Ralph's hand
does the same
rubber
thing.
Bands it back to him.
Slings him back. Shoots him in the butt. He's just down in pain.
What's his real hair color? It ain't that. Whatever it is.
He's got that
orange. Not orange. Orange.
He looks like the Aurora movie theater shooter.
Wow. That's a pull. What kind of shoes are those, John?
Probably some A1s or something.
I saw somebody at the gym with A1 sweatpants today. And the thing about A1 is, you have to decide now if it's fresh A1 or if it's classic A1 that he held on to. I think it was classic A1. I think it was still cost money A1. Not, 3 pairs of sweatpants for $6 A1.
Right. Featured in Walmart.
It's not touch foul A1. This is real Charles Oakley A1. So, full disclosure, we've already seen next week's episode.
Yeah.
So, when I kind of watch this, their relationship is different to me already. I kind of understand her sternness a bit more. But we'll talk about that. And, basically, her issue is it looks like Flash is getting closer to who he is than when he thought he was going to.
Yeah. And she's like, if we're off by a decimal, this can throw everything off. And he's like, there isn't a decimal, a fractionoid.
I've anticipated every outcome.
Anticipated. Yeah.
You know how they all end.
Yeah. And he's just super confident. Yeah, the only way it can end is us winning. It's with my victory, he says. So, and she's sort of satiated and calmed by that. Like, okay, because she knows how smart he is.
Yeah.
We don't yet. And watching this in time, but you get the feeling she's like, okay, I got to trust this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten us this far.
Exactly. So yeah, they talk about how tired they are looking for him, and Caitlin says, "I haven't been this tired since Killer Frost decided to go to Burning Man." That was probably a fun weekend.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. Like, she's so like,
what was she wearing at Burning Man?
Oh man, but she just seems like that would be such a cornball thing to do, like Burning Man, or maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Burning Man's the way.
I'm curious about what men she finds interesting. Killer Frost, not Caitlin.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
what movie was that, man? There's a movie with, and it's some super villain or some villain in the movie, and she only liked chubby guys, and that's who she went after. Super interesting. I wonder if Caitlin's the same.
Killer Frost is the same.
Because you never saw her with anybody. It was Ronnie or bust, and she hated everybody after that.
Yeah.
All right, so they can't come up with how to devise who DeVoe is, and HR is like, yo, I'll call my friends. And they're like, yo, you don't have any friends.
No, you don't have any friends outside this room.
He's like,
we're barely your friends.
I made new friends. It was a task. I complete tasks.
Yeah, you told me to go make friends, so I went and made friends.
Yeah. And Ralph gave him the thumbs up. He says, put that down. And my friends are smart. They'll help us. I'll call them. Nobody buys it. And Ralph hit him with the thumb again. And Barry's like, we gotta find the rest of these bus matters. We know they're connected to his plan. And he asked Ralph, like, can you remember who anybody else was? He said, I was in between drunk and hungover at the same time. The worst feeling.
Yeah. And then he looks at the picture of Havoc and he's like, hey, who's that? She's cute. Yeah. It's like, did she, he's like, she's in jail.
Think about what would happen if they dated, how bad it would be for him. Like, he's going to be a puddle of goo.
But he could just be like...
But he can't get up, though. Not while she's around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go away!
It's like rough, man.
Yeah.
So, their idea is, yo, let's go to a hypnotist and try to get his memory back so we can find out who else was on the bus. And Ralph's not interested at all. Nobody knows a hypnotist. And they go to their marriage counselor.
Yeah. Dr. Sharon Finkel.
Why does she have both of these talents?
I don't know. And how'd that come up?
She's a psych... Like, she has her psych degree. She's a master's in psychology, so maybe that helps, I guess.
And he's like, I see you didn't go to Harvard. Like, just like, what?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I see you didn't either. And he's just, like, how did you expect her to respond to that?
He thought he had her. Yo, she instantly hypnotizes him.
They don't go into the process she uses, but they just let you know that it worked.
Right away.
And it worked well.
Man, right away. Yeah. So, he's on the bus. He hits crying drug dude when he comes up. If he cries, dope. Still fascinating. And he looks forward on the bus, and he sees somebody else. Oh, he is shouting out
yelling out measurements. Women's measurements.
So gross.
And Iris thinks so too.
Yeah. Yo, the jacket is tough.
The jacket is. Nice little leather tassels or whatever. Like she grew up where they listen to Go-Go.
Chill out.
Anyway, he starts getting kind of lost in his psyche.
And he steps back to where it never happened. You can't hypnotize.
You can't hypnotize. Like, he starts the sentence he was talking when he fell into his hypnosis, and he's like, "How'd you guys get over there?" They're sitting across from him now. So
she has the villain this week. I think one of the coolest powers that they've shown on this, because it's not like energy manipulation per se. It's specific. It's like animating objects. I think that's a super cool power.
Yeah, I mean it's very specific.
It's limited because of budget. You know what I mean?
But
like,
how does what like I guess all you could ask, well, why does crying guy tears turn to drugs and all kinds of, but that seems so specific. You can make statues and I guess anything that's like, I doubt she could make this beer bottle move.
I feel like she could though.
I think the thing has to have some kind of, it has to be a statue.
Knees and elbows?
It has to have, I mean, it doesn't have to have points of articulation. I just think it has to be a thing. An actual thing that could be living if it was.
Well, you know what I think though?
Or,
in fairness, it's probably the limits of your imagination. Like,
so you're saying if she tried hard enough, she could make regular.
Because you know how, and I know you don't, like, you read some Green Lantern, but like, different lanterns have different levels of imagination, so make different things. Like, they used to really get on Jon Stewart because all he could make was guns and rays. Whereas Hal Jordan will make a big pair of scissors to cut a ribbon in half to save a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of limited what you can do. So, I mean, and they play on her native culture too. Like, she's going to make a panther move or stuff like that. So, so they're on the docks trying to figure out how this guy was killed.
You see his hand and still holding on to the top of the briefcase handle. Like, so something very violent happened to get that briefcase out of his hand.
And so Barry swabs the Stone Panther and finds blood in there.
Blood in the mouth.
So Wells is apparently, in Star Labs going to meet his friends.
And Cisco brings a cheese plate, some beer, snacks, because he's
homies, man.
He's anticipating Wells. Homies are going to show up. Mm-hmm. They're Welleses from across the multiverse. 3 different Welleses. You got a German
Harrison Wolfgang Wells.
Wolfgang Wells.
Because why wouldn't his name be Wolfgang?
And he's just your stereotypical blonde, straight-laced, super, efficient German.
Yeah. With a little Steve Jobs
and totally humorless.
Yeah.
Because those Germans, they don't like to smile.
But with the Jobs black shirt and glasses, because that has to be in there. But like you said, super blonde, humorless, everything's a waste of his time.
I just realized Cisco's shirt was a broken JPEG.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And then we have Playboy Wells in the smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket, martini glass, creepy mustache.
Wavy hair, mustache with the soul
patch. Even creepier soul patch.
Yeah. And
he pulls man trim though.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. Here's to raising IQs and libidos. Anybody who uses the word libido is a scumbag.
Oh, he's probably getting bitches off with using science. He's like, oh, I know where these glands lead to.
Disgusting.
And then we get Outback Jack Wells or whatever.
PowerPoint. He does a PowerPoint. The room just sweats. Gross. But no, and so this is the one where I was like, even though they have all this metal.
Whoa, I don't remember Gandalf Wells.
They got rid of Gandalf. And it's literally Wells the Gray. And they got rid of him quick.
He just deleted them. Because they're all holograms.
Yeah.
They're all showing up.
And then half man, half machine Wells is eating rat on a stick.
Rat on a stick, and
But he's like Ninja Turtles level cyborg, not like this show level cyborg.
Not at all. He's like totally like that's the operation you get in Riddick for a pack of cigarettes. That's how you should look.
If you guys are listening for the first time, Travis has a problem with Riddick being able to exchange cigarettes for seeing in the dark.
For awesome eye surgery.
But for all we know, that's like a damn fire stick in prison. You just plug it up, and then you got access. Like literally, a fire stick is what, $20, and you have access to every movie ever made.
Yeah.
I'm glad we made the distinction, but no. So he has the and what does he call them? The Council of Wells together, And they're all, well, what we find out is they're all a different aspect of his personality.
Yeah.
Turned up to 11. So they have a bit of an issue working together. Oh, they're fluid. Yo!
He said, so Cisco goes, oh, I'm going to leave and I'm going to take my chips and you have a good day. He's like, oh, well, my world, we had a Cisco too. He was delicious.
It's ate Cisco.
You know, he's a cannibal
Yes.
and just a half man, half robot guy. Yeah.
Is Caitlyn continuing her streak of great outfits?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, they found dark matter traces in the blood sample that Barry produced. All right? So,
And he figures out pretty quick, oh, she uses it, so whoever it is uses inanimate objects to kill.
Yeah. And yeah, psychic imprint on objects, sort of the telekinetic puppeteering. Yeah. Wow! And he said that's really smart. 34, 25, 34. Chill out, Dibney.
But you think Dibney wasn't from this damn world, the way he's just such a jerk?
The way he's like, he's the people they didn't show him Leave It to Beaver. Like, but how that's like a wholesome family.
Yeah.
He's the scumbag half.
Oh,
of the
like in the
that we didn't
picture,
see.
he looks like, you know, he belongs, but yeah, he's got some deviant stuff.
Yeah. So, yo, what they find is, of course, there was a bison on the jacket. It's a bison necklace.
Yeah.
That was taken. It did me so bad. So, yo, according to the auction report, the necklace was separated in 3 different places. They just got the first one that was in the briefcase. And so now the second one was some guy named Christoph Banks. Let's go get it.
Yeah. Some kind of collector.
Yo, and so they have a prototype for Dibney's suit underneath a sheet. And he's explaining to him what it can do. Like, basically, it's Mr. Fantastic suit. It can stretch as far as he needs to go without tearing. And so, yo, he takes the tarp off. And
The tarp is his suit.
bingo.
Cisco balls it up into a tiny little thing, so it stretches, it shrinks. It can do. Can he contract? Can he make himself
Like into a ball.
3 foot tall?
We have not seen him do
Squish
that.
himself
We've
down.
only seen him get bigger.
Yeah, stretch.
Oh. But yo, look at the little. I guess it's just a puppy's raincoat because when he tightened, when he did it was so small. I guess probably since the default size isn't his whole body, he probably can shrink down. So yo, whoever has the second piece is like clearly dude with money collector.
Yeah, crazy collector. He's got all kinds of artifacts and ancient looking trinkets around his trinket room.
So yo, he's talking to her, chick in a bison jacket, and she's talking about her family history, and you can just tell he's the kind of guy who would probably seek out a Native American chick to date because part of his collection.
Oh, not yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, yeah. Gotta have literally like that's just a natural.
Yo, and she's telling him about the stuff that he has.
Yeah.
And about disrespecting it. She's like, you never hang a Christian cross upside down or lay an American flag on the ground. And yo, she's really.
But you let this holy artifact you disrespected by letting it touch your filthy flesh.
She's gonna teach you a price.
It's like, hey, who do you think you are? I'm the Black Bison.
Yo, and then she psychically activates a suit of armor. And yo goes for the necklace. And yo, the suit of armor.
He's just choking him out.
Yeah.
And then Dibney and Flash show up. Dibney's adjusting the crotch of his outfit. like he's
young.
Like he's a baseball player.
Yeah.
And he's so not in the moment and not a superhero. He turns to Barry to brag, and then the robot, the suit of armor blasts him right in the chest. He goes flying through a plate glass window. Barry then tries to leave to go catch the woman.
Well, first he vibrates into the suit.
Well, he was going to leave, and then the guy goes, "Don't leave me!"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you're right." And he vibrates the suit, and the suit explodes in a bunch of pieces.
Awesome. If Flash was a murderer, we'd have a lot less episodes. He just do that to everybody.
Oh yeah, or just do what Wells did to Cisco, just put the hand through their
Right
chest
into the liver
and dip. So
Keep
this is where I wholeheartedly agreed with Ralph Dibney.
Okay.
Because he's the Flash.
Yeah.
You vibrated the suit, the suit of armor explodes. Now go get the woman. She's what, half a block away?
Yeah.
Nope, she got away. We'll get her next time. And it's like they're doing that. Was it Flash? Didn't I talk about that damn episode of Thundercats where they caught Mumra and then they just let him go? Like, what are y'all doing?
Hey,
so I was
they got
with
bills to pay
Dibney.
too.
Dibney was like, "You had her and you let her go." And Barry's explaining, and it's a forced thing where they got to teach Dibney how to be a hero. Excuse me, but they should have done that. They could have done that a lot better.
Yeah, she was a professor of cultural anthropology. She took this stuff to heart. Anything you study for a long period of time, you'll die for it. Clearly. Yo, and she was like a protester, charges dropped.
I was hoping they would mention the protests that have been
South Dakota?
Yeah. But yeah, different.
Apparently that pipeline burst.
Yes. The old part, the old section, not the section Trump just approved.
Okay.
So they've been making. I want you to know that distinction as if like but so the new part's going to be better. But nah.
Yeah, but yo, like you said, dip your land into him, dog. Like, yo, you're the Flash. You could have saved him and caught her. He says, all right. Right, I'm always going to make the decision to help the person in danger first.
And Flash wasn't wrong, but
yeah,
again, you're still the Flash.
The second part of that statement that needs to be explained. Yeah. In order to make sure that person's safe, like, or something. And then we get back to the Council of Wells. Arguing.
I'm mad that Outback half man, half machine Wells got the crazy V, the workout V that you get if you're super in shape.
Yo, he eats rats. Like, he's malnourished. That's not a muscle V.
Right, that's
a starving
That's
V.
a starvation V.
Yeah. It's an Ethiopian V, man. That's not dope.
Calories V.
Yo, so they've been standing there for 24 hours. And yo, my man, Playboy Wells shows back up in the sailor's hat with his meat out.
Mm-hmm. I can see a Franken beans, says the German one.
He's saying like we had all seen it before, which, as adults, it doesn't matter.
You Earth folks are so uptight. So clearly, on his world, on his Earth,
just meat everywhere.
Promiscuity and nudity is just all good.
But being the smartest man on Earth, they probably don't have to worry about DCVD. That came together nice. Yo, so it was a whole day. And Wells said, clearly it's not working, it's not me, it's you, and sends them all away. Yeah. Yo, they were standing there for 24 hours. How? Arguing for 24 hours.
Yep.
That's being stubborn. Even though Cyborg Wells probably went on himself right there in front of everybody.
It's a machine. It recycles, and then he drinks it through another tube. It's all,
yeah. There you go. And then his eye works. All right, so Black Bison, back at it again. We got to go somewhere else in the city and stop her. There's an armored truck because there's always an armored truck.
Well, they transferred the piece once they heard the other one got attacked.
Why can't she just follow it? Yeah, my man watching cat videos, and yo, whatever. Is it an Eskimo? Or
it's like a caveman, Encino Man type.
Is it
type statue?
Yes, yes, it is.
So he's got it.
Yeah.
So so she makes there's one guard driving the armored truck, and there's one guard in the back looking at cat videos on his phone, and they show you that that there's the statue guy, the caveman guy in there,
and then the jewel piece is what they're carrying.
Yes, the buffalo, like the medallion of the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And Flash and Dibney show back up.
And she told him, like, yo, it don't belong to nobody's collection. It belongs to the Sioux people. Like, we should have this. Yeah. And she tells Flash, I don't listen to men like you anymore. A few weeks ago, something inside of me changed for the better, for the more powerful. And now there's just the Black Bison. And you know what she meant? She meant white people. Like,
I don't have to listen to men like you.
Yeah. That's who it was. Like, sorry. Tough. And yo, she starts to get away in her Honda Civic
Mm-hmm.
in her in her late model Mercury, and yo, Disney in costume, yo, puts his hand under the car and stops the car, and yo, Encino Man is whooping Flash with a club. Again,
I mean, it does. I mean, you just have to assume. But what makes Encino Man so strong?
I mean, he is made out of whatever metal.
Like he hits Barry with his club, and Barry goes flying like he was a baseball.
And again, with psychic powers, we don't know the extent of them.
Right.
But she can probably swing a lot faster than, you know. But yo, Disney actually stops her. And so she's about to be out of there. However, when Flash got knocked off, when the car hit.
No. When the guy hit Flash into the telephone pole. That's why he's diesel as hell. Like, come on.
So, it falls over, and the telephone pole falls on a little girl.
Yeah, traps her legs.
Mm-hmm. And then Flash looking at Ralph like, you messed up.
Because Ralph was super proud. I got her. Mm-hmm. But at the expense of a little girl getting pretty badly hurt.
Hold back. Go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Come on, man. Golly. So, he telling Ralph, she's okay. She lived. Ralph's like, I don't even want to hear it, dog. So it's that, self-loathing. I know I made a mistake here.
Yeah.
But we got Wells writing on the big clear board and cannot come up with the equation. Yeah. Doesn't know what's cracking. And he's like, yo, should I clear out the lab? And he's like, no, broom it. What did he call him? The council of what?
Oh, if it was a joke one, not the Wells.
Yeah. I think cancel distractions is close enough. He's like, yo, I don't like them. I hate all of them. And he's like, strong words. He's like, Wolfgang Wells, he's always correcting people, number one. The other guy, Free Willy Wells, he's so full of Free Willy Wells. And Cyborg Wells, he lost his eye. His daughter gouged it out. Yeah. And Cisco tells him, he's like, that's you, right? Again, each of these are just heightened versions of all.
Heightened versions of one part of his personality manifested in one being. And Cisco said what we all saw immediately. He hates himself. He just doesn't like his own personality and the way he is.
Have I told you that they're talking about casting James Franco as Multiple Man?
For Flash?
No. As Multiple Man in an X-Men movie.
Oh, he's a
But Multiple Man as a solo movie. They just keep coming up with bad ideas. I think James Franco was great, but a solo Multiple Man movie.
It's on the level of making an Inhumans movie, show.
At least the Inhumans are this big, super powerful, overarching in the universe team. Multiple Man is just an X-Man. Matter of fact, he's a member of X Factor. And his power is the coolest thing in the world. You make copies and copies and copies of yourself, and eventually in the comics, he sends each of those comics out to live their own lives, and they really become different people. And then when they get together, it's the exchange of ideas. It's so cool.
Wow.
Imagine sending out 8 copies of yourself, and you go to one, and they just happen to be gay. It's really cool stuff that they do.
About that.
Yeah, but you haven't made good Wolverine movies. You have kind of one, maybe 2. You've treated Storm like garbage, but you can do a Multiple Man movie. Okay, so we did get through a lot of exposition that we didn't need there. So he brings back Cyborg Wells, and he's not super happy, but he says,
we brought them all back.
I know you guys prefer to work alone, and you don't want to work with other people because you're so smart. You just push it away. And he's like, if we're going to find DeVoe, we have to work together. We have to work as friends. And they all seem...
With benefits? He's such a pervert.
So he would yam himself.
Huh?
He would yam himself.
Oh, absolutely. He'd be like, it's not gay, it's masturbation.
Yeah. Oh, no, he'd be like, but it is gay. Live your best life, dog. Live your very best life. Again, we gotta give him credit.
Oh man, that's right. We give it up for Kavanaugh every season, oh wow, he played this different version of Wells.
And one episode he plays 4 of them.
Now he gets to play. He plays 4 and 3 just off the wall, silly versions of the character. Mm-hmm. It's like they're like, you know what, the audience likes this about you, so let's give them what they want.
Exactly.
Even if it's just in this, one episode, kind of one off. And who knows? Maybe 1 or 2 or all 3 of these guys will be back.
I want to go to Cyborg Wells as well.
I need to see a few minutes of. We got to see Earth 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got to see wherever Grodd lives, whatever Earth that was. We need to see Cyborg Wells' Earth.
Yeah.
And he even names them earlier. He says, this guy's from Earth 19, this guy's from Earth 52, whatever. He does at the beginning say which ones they're from.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they basically do combine all their powers. They come up with a formula. They go with his different moves, and they have a quantum cerebral chip.
We can create a psych
profile.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, everybody's kind of ready to go. Yeah. Ralph still has his office, and he's still a private investigator.
And the office looks such. They just.
There's Chinese food open right there. Yeah. There's what might be Smart Water sitting right there. What might be, matter of fact, that might be like Robitussin. Because reasons. Yeah. And Ralph's going through it, man. Yeah. Like, that kid didn't die, but he's a good enough person to where, what if she did?
It feels bad. Yeah. He definitely feels bad. He feels responsible. And you just imagine the emotions of, I got her! I finally, this is my first villain I caught as a bad guy, or as a good guy. Mm-hmm. Costume, the whole deal, and somebody got hurt. Yeah. Like, they kept telling me, we gotta be careful, and then the thing that they said was gonna happen.
Exactly. So yeah, he's like, and he has all his pictures from all his cases I'm taking. He's like, yo, I'm worried about these cheating wives and husbands. Like, it's just scumbaggy people trying to find other scumbaggy people. Like, it's just like that. Like, I don't have to worry about little kids dying. Like, it's not something I have to deal with. And it's really him coming to terms with this whole heroism thing. Like, even though he was a good cop, and he did have a moral compass, like, while he was a cop. Falling out of that world did make things easier to process, like, for him. And so now he's kind of getting back into the right and wrong, like, actually being a distinction. So he has to deal with that. And Barry tells him, like, I've made bad decisions, and sometimes it's gotten more people hurt. What I always think of immediately is that, Diggle went from having a daughter to a son. Like, Flash messing around with time genuinely changed people's lives. Mm-hmm. And changed their whole stories. Like, and I think it's cool that they make these things all fit together across, like, 3, 4 shows. But yeah. And Flash even tells him, like, yo, like, this is going to be hard. It's not always going to go your way, but you do have somebody to turn to. Like, you have somebody to fall back on. An underrated part of Barry's character is that he's been mentor to, now Dibney, before Wally, like, and he's, been kind of a sidekick.
And even to a lesser extent, Jessie.
Yeah.
Because she's a speedster. Mm-hmm. That's actually something I wish they actually talked about more and fleshed out more, because they sent her to back to Earth 2, and she does superhero stuff.
Yeah. She's
even got her name. She's, Quick?
Yeah, just Quick.
And, so it's, yeah. And this, okay, so
they got her in the meta handcuff show.
They're showing the Black Bison in jail, and the security guard, the officer, he's like super indignant, like, they're gonna lock you up and throw away the key, and she like, leave me alone, and like, in the process of getting a little physical with him, steals his name tag.
Clean takes it, though.
Which, fine. Okay, he didn't feel that? Absolutely. But, so you're telling me these meta handcuffs that Barry or Wells or whoever, Cisco designed, can be picked with a freaking little pen with a paper clip? No. So unbelievable.
But they didn't want to have a Bluetooth on there just in case somebody could hack them. So, she takes control of this new prototype suit that they have. that they're of course showing off at the exact same time in the lobby of
At the lobby of CCPD. In the lobby of CCPD.
Yeah. And she can feel it from, she doesn't even have to see it. She just knows it's there.
And the thing kicks her cell door in. Bam! It's made of whatever plastic and, it kicked a metal cell door down. Just like the Encino Man, caveman, bashed Barry halfway down the block and knocked over a damn telephone pole. Come on!
Dark matter coating.
Gee.
It was made out the black box. And the black box never breaks. So yeah, we're rushing back to Star Labs. Apparently she made a tactical dummy go full Terminator because he did also shoot off an elephant bullet, like Terminator with the gas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is the best. As much as I like about Terminator 2, the sound that the elephant bullet makes. Thunk, thunk. I love it. Yeah.
Shot dude right in the back with one. Oh my goodness.
Think about how bad that hurt.
Oh, my spine.
Yeah, man. So, of course, our finale is going to be in a museum.
Yeah, fancy old Central City Museum. It's really nice, too.
Why she got a flashlight? Right, I'm surprised that she still has some form of stealth. But yeah, now when she busted that thing open, though, got the glass, she got the rest of the necklace show. Because they put the two pieces together. And then, yeah.
I thought something. She puts the necklace around
I thought she was going to power up.
I thought she was going to activate.
Yo, and they tell her this belongs in a museum. Like, this is a museum. She said, and she told him, you keep it here as American history, but we're not history. We're still here.
Like
and I'm watching this show. I'm watching this, and I'm like, yo, like, what she's saying is right. Like,
oh, she wasn't. It wasn't one thing she said wrong. It's just
her actions were
murderous.
Yeah. But like the things she said were pretty like on the money, and they didn't really respond to him like, no, that's not true. There wasn't a long conversation, which I get. Not time to be right. It's time to stop her. And she brought her T-Rex bones to life. Like if dinosaurs weren't real, this wouldn't have worked. The bones just would have fell apart. Like when you jump on the turtle skeleton in Mario World. So dinosaurs got to be real.
Got to be. No matter what Milan said.
Dinosaurs in that flat earth, man. We never saw them. So, so Barry runs around the dinosaur bones super, super fast.
And again, this is bullshit. So the dinosaur just got mad, like, can keep up with the Flash?
Yeah. And
swat him with his tail. He's going Flash speed.
Have you seen Barry's grade in archaeology? He miscalculated the bones, man.
So Dibney gets his first save. The security guard, comes through with all the commotion, and the dinosaur bones goes to
whole budget right there.
Goes to bite the security guard, and Dibney stretches his whole body and pushes him out the way. But in the meantime, the dinosaur chomped down on him, and Dibney's out there fighting the dinosaur.
Yeah, and he ties him up. Whole budget.
Whole budget
right there.
He uses his body like a Band-Aid, a rubber band, and wraps around the mouth.
There's a Flash catches up a black bison, and they're right in front of a Sioux offering bowl. And what he does is, I know what's important to you. He throws the bowl up in the air. She reaches to catch it.
Well, to set it up, she goes, "Oh, you still chasing me, huh? Do you know how many things I can activate and bring to life and take you out?" And he looks and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think you're going to do that." And that's when he notices the Sioux ceremonial bowl and probably some other Sioux things in that entire room. I think that's what they're alluding to. So he grabs the bowl, throws it up. She goes, no! Lifts her hands up. He does his Flash thing.
He threw it up and it turned to dust. That would have been so dope. He throws it up and it just crumbles in midair.
Oh, because it's an old, do not touch.
Because again, he's moving how fast? It just crumbles. She would have been so hurt.
It's like when Superman catches Lois and falling off that building. She should have just sliced through his arms.
Explaining Superman's DNA and his physiology is wild difficult.
Well, I mean, she's falling off a building.
No, I mean she should because she's exactly, but he's Superman. So
he calculated the trajectory and the speed, and he knows how.
He actually swung his arms to catch it. Get out of here. All right, so home stretch here. Yo, what's he eating on? Just a big piece of bread?
I think he's got grilled cheese or something.
And he's reading some all-star comic. I wonder if he's reading his own comic. Look at them boots, y'all. Those are definitely brunch boots. So apparently, Black Bison's at Iron Heights. No statues, no effigies. So, like you said, like even though I said, she can work with any object, one, they're going to have her in like meta cuffs or whatever, but still, maybe she can't just move prison bars.
Yeah.
Is he reading the Flash All-Stars? Yeah. So actually, Ralph sent the Bison necklace to a Sioux reservation. Yeah. Like, so, my biggest issue with the episode, they went ahead and fixed it. Because I was like, yo, like, y'all really should keep it in the museum?
Right, you can't do that
for
at the Indiana Jones thing where
a white man to
it
look at the
belongs
stuff
in
all
the
day.
museum where you go.
For the white man and his white tickets.
No, it don't.
And his white day pass.
Like y'all stole that.
And hitting his white parking meter to go to the museum. Using his white lights to look at the stuff at the museum. In his reflective white case. No, they handled it like how
and Disney thought he was gonna get chewed out. Like I know, you wanna, but Barry's like, no, this is one of the better things you've done.
I wonder if in the universe that shirt's expensive or if it's cheap.
The shirt Disney's wearing?
Yeah.
Looks nice.
I hope like he has an expensive suit and a $10 shirt. Or the other way around, a $10 suit and an expensive shirt. So he goes to the hospital to visit that little girl. And again, we do that thing where we blur the lines of who knows I'm a superhero and who doesn't. She was close enough to death to where she could see all his powers. The girl says she's bored, and he's like,
First off, you just woke up. You don't have time to be bored. You literally eyes just open. Not from your coma or whatever, but whatever.
They're attached to their iPads when they're 3. So she's probably actually bored. He looks around and then makes a balloon animal with his hand. Yeah. And she gets such a kick out of it. Yeah. Which lets me know she probably wasn't playing with an iPad. Oh.
Right,
and then she wants an elephant?
A giraffe.
A giraffe. She says it might take some toes. Ooh, and he's doing the most. So Barry and Joe show back up at Star Labs. And they're like, we think we know who he is. Aboard the Harry's fans, what we're looking for is Clifford DeVoe from South Africa. It's a 92% match. Nobody else comes close.
No social media, no criminal record, super low profile. And they got an address.
And like I can call Sing, we get a squad over there. Barry's like, nope, we got to handle this. Again, his first chance to get out in front of one of these. So and he says it like, Pawn, Zoom, Savitar. For once, we have a chance here to get ahead of the enemy. And everybody's like, you right. Like, let's go do it. And then
she's looking at her...
she's the probabilities,
Yeah.
We have guests. Let's get ready to greet them. And their house looks like every other house in this universe.
The house is slamming.
Yeah, everybody has a nice house. Harry with the big gun, with the big...
speed cannon.
Yeah, man.
Cisco's got his
with the great white shark killer.
Glasses. They got the welcome mat. Immediately Joe is... Wait a second, there's no ramp to the front door?
I think there's a step up.
Right. No ramp, he's in a wheelchair. They don't have some kind of like...
Good pull. She did answer in a nice dress.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
God,
she's very good looking. And the biggest difference is when that hair's not pulled back. When she wears it like
she's fine with that hair slicked
back. But when
back.
you wear it like people wear hair. It helps.
It does. And you come through with...
She's like, we need to talk to. Is my husband in trouble? It's like, your husband? And Joe's like, no. No, man. And she says, Clifford, the police are here. They like a word. And, they look at each other. And then he pulls up. He rolls up on him in the wheelchair. He says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Clifford DeVoe. How may I be of help?
And Joe and Barry just got super shocked face. Like, how? Because, how? There's a guy in the wheelchair? How could he be a villain?
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
kick a chair over. Because I'm real.
Like, Barry, if he'd have did that to Thorne or Wells the first time he met him, he'd have realized. If you know season 1.
Yeah, man. So no, really interesting episode though. Like I think they're doing a good job with Dibney, figuring out like the type of hero he's going to be, progressing him from scumbag to hero. You know, showing what should be important to heroes too. Like aside from just catching the bad guy, like he even went above and beyond what Barry would do to do the right thing at the end of the episode.
I mean, Barry would visit people.
No, I'm talking about sending the necklace back.
Oh, okay. Like damn.
No, Barry would go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But no, like doing that was really thoughtful of him. Again, like the villain's powers weren't defined, and I think this is one of the first few times we've looked at something like, no, we want a bit more clarification on what it is they can do and why. But you know, we got the hour to work with. So,
what's the insurance you pay when you're mailing that necklace to the Sioux reservation? Yeah.
Somebody has that on right now in an IG photo. Matter of fact, somebody wore that on Halloween.
On Halloween
with their face
sexy,
painted with lipstick.
With their sexy Pocahontas outfit.
And don't know what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
They may have just picked it up from FedEx on accident. Super curious to see, you know, just how they figure out, you know, who DeVoe is, if they can figure out what his plot is. So curious about next week. Before we jump out of here, anything else you want to add?
No, I just think, again, we had an episode with a solid villain of the week that has potential, to come back. I mean, she's in jail, she's locked up, but
her powers definitely leave more to be explored. We do feel like maybe at some point in the season or at the end, we're gonna get that one episode where everybody's free, and we at least get a scene where we got to go get everybody some type of way. So, we'll see how that plays out. Especially now that, and again,
one thing even though we've seen next week's episode, we haven't. I think the next revelation is
the plot.
No, it's getting some kind of hint what DeVoe's going to do.
That's what he
needs with these metas.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he collecting them? Because besides Dibney, he's
putting them in the same place on purpose.
Well, he knows where. I mean, because Black Bison is locked up in Iron Heights. So Havoc is in.
And so is Kilgore.
And he has drug tier guys
somewhere laid up. Yep,
he's got.
Mm-hmm. So to make it like his own big crew. We'll have to see about that. If this is your first time listening, especially if you're watching on stream, you can listen to all our previous Flash reviews at South Kongress. So it'll be soundcloud.com/South Kongress with a K. You can find South Kongress on iTunes, on Stitcher, basically anywhere you listen to podcasts. You'll see every episode that we've done covering the Flash in audio form. Again, season 1 has a single show, and every episode through seasons 2 and 3 are going to have their own individual episode, and every episode of season 4 leading up to this point. Again, soundcloud.com/South Kongress. If there's nothing else, this has been the South Kongress Podcast Fan by Fan Show for CW's The Flash, Season 4, Episode 6, entitled When Harry Met Harry. For Travis, I'm Cameron, and we're out.